Hi and welcome back, guys. I hope you all are having a great day out there. Recently, I had someone tell me that XRP cannot see $100, and I believe it can, it will, and potentially this year. I want to show you the math here because, guys, we can debate. It's healthy to do so, but we can't argue numbers. As the saying goes, the numbers don't lie. Numbers are my strong point. Math is my strong point, not necessarily English, as some of you often roast me when I mispronounce words in the comment section, which is completely okay. We all have our strengths and weaknesses, right? But I do want to talk about the numbers here, give you very simple, basic math here, and show you how it can happen much quicker than many think. Now, before I even begin in talking about these numbers, I already know there's going to be some haters in the comment section that don't make it to the end of the video and are in the comment section saying, well, if it can happen, why hasn't it already? Well, that is literally one of the goals of this video, to show you the numbers, but also talk to you about why it hasn't happened yet, but what is coming, and why you shouldn't lose faith on XRP based off what is coming. Now, let's get straight into this, guys. We've got 17 million that we recently report on, had brought up the price of XRP 10 cents, roughly 10, 11 cents. For the sake of this video, let's make it easy, underestimate and use 10 cents. 17 million in net inflows brought the price up 10 cents. Now, to move the price up $1, you literally just 10x that 10 cents, right? And you add a zero to that net inflow. 170 million would then bring the price up about $1. Now, to see a $10 rise, you just 10x that net inflow. So 1.7 billion would raise the price roughly $10. Now, I know the market fluctuates and the numbers aren't always 100% exact, but this gives you a nice, easy idea of roughly how much needs to come in net inflows to raise the price up. Now, JP Morgan said earlier this year that 4 to 8 billion could potentially come into XRP in roughly 6 to 12 months. So when these XRP ETFs go live, they believe 6 to 12 months is what it's going to take to bring about 4 to 8 billion in net inflows. Will we see the net inflows come in overnight? To be determined, right? Or will we see it happen in those 6 to 12 months and see a nice, steady, a gradual rise in the price of XRP is yet to be determined. But 4 billion, just 4 to 8 billion coming in, if we use that 1.7 billion number that brought us up $10, let's double that. Let's say 3.4 billion comes in. Now, at our current price at $2, knowing that 1.7 billion brought us up $10, which brings us to a total of $12. If we double that inflow of 3.4 billion, remembering that JP Morgan stated that on the low end 4 billion would come in, on the high end 8. Well, if we double that 1.7 billion that brought us up $10, and at a current price bringing us up to 12, 3.4 billion would bring us to a $24 XRP. And that's just with 3.4 billion in net inflows. But they're stating that 8 billion could come in at the high end, and a Bloomberg article also stated that we could see as much as 14 billion. So if we double that 3.4 billion again, that brought us to $24, now we're sitting at a $48 XRP and under 8 billion. This is just with ETFs. Now, guys, I know I threw a lot of numbers at you, and I'm going to put these in my free Telegram, Team X, if you want to join us over there, if you want to take a closer look at the numbers. But this is just based off ETFs. That's what we have to understand. This has nothing to do with the 8 companies that we know that are going to have an XRP treasury with just under $1 billion. Now, yes, there's a thing called dark pools, but it is still going to allow for a supply shock. It is making it so that the supply will be like a pressure cooker, like I've stated in the past, eventually allowing the price of XRP to explode just on the principles of a supply shock. We also know that USDC is now live on the XRPL, as well as many other stable coins, adding to the availability of global payments and the likes of businesses all over the world to utilize and further adopt the XRPL. We know just yesterday, the Ripple and SEC case, we found that Ripple and the SEC are working together to make this happen and acting as a team, completely doing a 180 opposed to what we saw in the past. And you know, when we wrap this thing up and put a bow on it, we tell ourselves, you know, this market alone is highly speculative. It always has been. But what we know is net inflows will be coming into XRP. What is that going to do to the speculation of big investors coming into this market after it is regulated? We need regulations. An unregulated market has been what has held us back. We also see Iran and Israel attacking one another. We've got the case not finally over. These ETFs are not yet live, and along with that, we've had tariff talks all year. And so yes, it hasn't happened yet this year, but that's not to say it won't. We certainly can't say that it won't happen. That's all I got for you for now. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions in the comment section below, guys. As always, I do appreciate your support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you all in the next one.